Yeah, Babylon is finna be heard. I'm gonna start by giving all the praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rechak, Wadash. Double honor to the elder apostles and bishops of the great millstone that rule well. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the old elect tabernacle of David scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. And you got prophecy speaking clearly. And we just got to keep our eyes open, to what's going on across the board as far as these nations and the different geopolitical and economic moves that they're making, especially towards the West to, undermine and weaken the dominance of, the West. And the latest moves being made, you have Russia that starting today, they are no longer trading, the stock exchange is no longer trading using the dollar or the euro. Then Saudi Arabia, they pretty much cut the petrodollar deal. All right. And, that agreement, which was over 50 years, is null and void. And there's no sign of renewal of that agreement. So they're cutting off the petrodollar. So they're going to accept trade in other strong currencies outside of the petrodollar. And this is going to really, really hurt Babylon. So, this is finna get interesting. And we know that right now with, things not going too well financially for the average American, being able to barely keep up with, rent and utility, the cost of living. This is just gonna further the affliction. And this is, the start of, the beginning of sorrows. Matter of fact, let me grab that, because while that's going on, you got, escalation, of course, between the bear and in the West. They're turning up over there in Ukraine. NATO, talking about deploying another 300,000, to their borders for heightened security alerts, over the aggression that's going on between Russia and Ukraine. Russia just sent a warship over to Cuba, talking about arming all allies that are capable of reaching the West, if they was to attack. And also they sent a nuclear submarine over this way as well. So it's a lot of major moves being carried out. This is Matthew 24 and verse 6. It says, "And you shall hear of wars or rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows." This is what we're witnessing, all across the board, all around the world. So this is, I'm pretty sure what Russia is doing is in retaliation for the sanctions that they just placed upon them. So they countered that, and they're no longer trading, within the stock exchange. They're not dealing with the petro. And now Saudi Arabia is on the same mission. So they're on the same accord with Russia because they're part of the same BRICS alliance. So we know what this means. More nations are shifting away from the West. All right. And, that's just more sign that Babylon is getting ready to be brought down. Let's get Jeremiah 51, and we'll start at 7. And it says, yeah, Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. They were all drunken on, not only on their democracy, but part of that wine, part of what was in that cup was that petrodollar, which at once upon a time used to be backed, by silver and gold, but they since then removed it. Now it's not really worth anything. So these nations are creating alternatives around its use, and that's diminishing the power of the West. Mainly here in Babylon, America. All right. It says the nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. And this place is falling apart. All right. Economically, morally, the infrastructure, it's all falling apart, man. It says, how for her, take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. And that's, just the Lord being facetious. All right. Yeah, we would have healed her, but she ain't healed. Y'all might want to, take some ointment for her, see if she can be healed. But we know this place ain't gonna bounce back. All right. Once that dollar is done for completely, then everything else is gonna fall in place. It's gonna be nothing but unrest, austerity, disorder. It's gonna lead to a lot of chaos. It's already a bunch of violence, random acts of violence all across the land. The love of many is waxing cold. And it's only going to worsen. It says we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. So that's going to be an open wound that's not going to heal, but it's only going to get worse and worse. A wound that's open and it's not being treated, it becomes infected, and the infection, it grows worse and worse. All right. So the conditions of Babylon is only going to grow worse and worse. And these are those sorrows. And these nations, they're striking, blows that are in a long run is going to be fatal, terminal for America, because America been dominating for so long, just sitting on top of everyone else, at the top seat. It's been ruling and dominating. But now, a paradigm shift is happening and people are getting fed up. These nations all around the world are getting fed up. It says, forsake her and let us go everyone into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and it is lifted up even to the skies. Yeah, the hurtful works here in Babylon, all of iniquity, the wickedness, the pride, it's reached this height, and is only continuing to heighten, become worse and worse. So this is what's going down. It's only going to get worse from here on out. So any of you nations that are here, you might want to pack up and go back to your native country, because it's going to get real bad for this place. So let me get the other precept. This is Nahum 3. And verse 5, it says, behold, I'm against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will shew the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. Let me go to AMP, Amplified. And it says, behold, I am against you, declares the Lord of hosts, and I will lift up your skirts over your face, and I will let the nations look at your nakedness, You completely wide open. All your everything concerning Babylon. Knowing that your administration is an embarrassment right now. The fact that the borders are wide open and it's just filled with a bunch of foreigners, immigrants. You got a bunch of sleeper cells. They said they arrested 6 different men in several states that were going to carry out some kind of plot. That's just 6 dudes. We have no idea how many much more out there is ready to put in that work. So we're gonna expect that shit is finna start jumping here in Babylon, and all the nations they're looking how vulnerable Babylon is. Russia confidently sending warships and nuclear submarines that close to the country. You would have never thought this, a few decades ago. It says, I will throw filth on you and make you vile and treat you with contempt and set you up as a spectacle. All eyes is on Babylon. And every time you hear these prime ministers, foreign ministers, these representatives for these other countries, when they speak out, they always bring out the dirt on America. All right. So let me jump down real quick. I'm going to read verse 13 because this is also what's happening, right? With the border situation and how they let so many in. And now, it's enemies in disguise that are just, patrolling through the country now. Verse 13, behold, your people are as weak and helpless as women in your midst. Yeah, we in Pride Month too. That's definitely going to show, right? The gates of your land are opened wide to your enemies. Fire consumes the bars across your gates. And, it's only a matter of time before we start to actually see that. All right. It says, draw water for a long continued siege, strengthen your fortresses, go down to the clay pits, trample the mortar, prepare the bricklaying, turn bricks for the rampart. It says, but there in the very midst of these preparations, the fire will devour you. The sword will cut you down. It will devour you as the locust does. Multiply yourself like the creeping locust. Multiply yourself like the swarming locust. You have increased your traders more than the visible stars of heaven. The creeping locust strips and destroys and then flies away. Yeah. Consuming. All right. It says your guardsmen are like the swarming locusts. Your marshals are like the hordes of grasshoppers settling in the stone walls on a cold day. When the sun rises, they fly away and no one knows the place where they are. Your shepherds are asleep, right? Your watchmen, all right? They don't know what's going on. All right, he says, O king of Assyria, your nobles are lying down in death. Your people are scattered on the mountains, and there is no one to gather them. They're so spread thin. They're all over the place, just like the Roman army was. And that's how Rome fell. It says, there is no relief in healing for your hurt. Like I said, these people going to be left hurt. Everybody going to be hurting soon. Because more nations are going to follow suit. America is isolating itself. Turkey, which, Turkey was a frenemy already, but even they jumping ship. The EU divided. So it's not looking too good. It says, your wound is incurable. All who hear the news about you clap their hands over what has happened to you. From on whom has your unceasing evil not come continually? And all that's happening is Babylon is receiving the same energy that it's given. So yeah, man, we definitely coming into that time, man. Them troubles, them pains, it's finna start increasing. All right, but at least we got comfort. The Lord's gonna bring us through these temptations. All right. The Lord said to be of good cheer. So, we're going to be all right. It's the rest of our people, along with this wicked society, they're going to be the ones that's going to suffer. Okay? We just got to, remain faithful. So, this is not going to be a long, drawn out lesson, but, this is just recent news. I'm pretty sure the brothers may have covered or is going to, do lessons on it. Maybe it might be a part of the new algorithm that the elder Ariala, the elder from the England camp, Rakaya Kwam, but yeah, they're making moves, man. And soon, the inflation is going to kick in even more. The value of your dollar, you're going to start to feel when you can't purchase as much as you're used to. You're going to see more complaints on TikTok of people stressing about, how much money they have to keep spending and how they're not making enough to keep up with their lifestyle. It's going to happen more and more people are going to get desperate. All right. So yeah, man, this place is spiraling, and that's good news for us because this place, we're ready for it to fall so we can get the kingdom. Okay, but we know that this is really going to lead to the overall solution, which is the MOT to the B. Because they're going to have the digital currencies rating right on the people. The system is already structured and already complete. So that's the next thing. All right, and prophecy is just going to continue to fulfill itself. So anyway, with that, I'm gonna give all praise to Yahweh Shem Shai. To the next one, Shalom.